Today, we're diving into a classic, Robert G. Allen's Multiple Streams of Income. We're going to distill the absolute core strategies from the book, the key concepts you need to know for building real financial security.
So let's just jump right in with a big question, one that keeps a lot of people up at night. For most of us, the honest answer is a nervous, probably not. And that really hits on the core problem Allen's book is trying to solve, the huge, huge risk of depending on just one paycheck.
So where do you even begin? Well, according to Allen, it's not with some complicated business plan or a hot stock tip. Nope. The journey to multiple streams of income actually starts right between your ears, with a huge shift in how you think about money. And here's the book's central metaphor. Start seeing every dollar not just as something to spend, but as a seed that you can plant through saving and investing. With a little time and the magic of compound interest, that one seed can grow into an entire forest of wealth.
But, let's be real for a second. It's not always that simple. The book is quick to point out that this money as a seed idea, while it's a great mindset, can be a bit of an oversimplification. Things like market crashes, the economy, and just how much risk you're willing to take, they all play a massive role. It's a great starting point, but it's not a magic wand.
So how do you put this new mindset into practice day to day? Allen suggests this really practical habit he calls the Millionaire Minute. It's simple. Before you buy anything, you just pause for 60 seconds. You ask yourself, did I plan for this? Can I get a better deal somewhere else? It seems small, but that one little moment of mindfulness, done over and over, can lead to some seriously significant saving.
Okay, so this mindset stuff leads us to what is maybe the most important concept in the entire book. And it's the idea that not all income is created equal. Not by a long shot.
On one side, you've got linear income. This is your standard 9-to-5 job, right? You trade an hour of your life for an hour's worth of pay. The minute you stop working, the money stops coming in. But the goal, the holy grail, is residual income. This is where you build something, an asset, like a rental property, a book, or an online course that keeps paying you over and over again long after you've done the initial work. The whole point is to shift your focus from linear income to building as many streams of residual income as you can.
So how do you actually build these amazing residual income streams? The book talks about these different money mountains you can climb. For this explainer, we're going to zero in on 3 of the biggest and most accessible paths he lays out.
First up is the stock market.
Now, Allen's advice here isn't about risky, high-stress day trading. It's about playing the long game with a passive strategy. Think like Warren Buffett. Focus on things like mutual funds that have a solid, consistent track record over many years. The key isn't trying to outsmart the market every single day, but making smart, patient choices and letting time do all the heavy lifting for you. And just a reminder, all these fantastic strategies come directly from Robert G. Allen's book. Okay, let's move on to the second path.
All right, path number 2 is really fascinating because it's all about making money from something you already have, your knowledge and your experience. It's about becoming what he calls an infopreneur.
The big idea here is that your personal experience, your skills, your hobbies, even the mistakes you've made, that has real value to other people. The plan is to package that knowledge into something like an ebook or an online course. As you can see, the book lays out a clear roadmap. Find a problem people have, create a solution for them, test it out small, and then build it from there. Path number 3 is a strategy that Robert Allen is pretty famous for. It's about getting into the real estate game even if you don't have a giant pile of cash sitting in the bank for a down payment.
This is all about creative problem solving. It's about looking for deals way beyond what a traditional bank can offer. For example, with seller financing, the person selling the house essentially acts as your bank. Or with a lease/option, you get to rent the property for a while with the right to buy it later on. The whole idea is to find people who are motivated to sell and structure a creative deal where everybody comes out a winner.
Now, building wealth is one thing. That's fantastic. But what is the point of building this incredible financial fortress if you don't know how to keep it safe? This brings us to a super critical and often forgotten part of the whole process, protecting what you build.
Take a look at this number, 1 in 4. What do you think that represents?
That's how many people in the United States will get hit with a lawsuit every single year. The huge takeaway here is that asset protection is not some fancy concept for billionaires. As soon as you start building wealth, you have to start building a wall around it. So how do you build that wall? The book recommends using different legal structures to separate and shield your assets.
For instance, an LLC, a limited liability company, can protect your personal stuff from any business risks. A living trust can help make sure your wealth gets passed on smoothly. The goal is to create layers of defense for everything you're working so hard to build.
And this all brings us to the final and maybe the most important idea in the whole book. What is all this wealth really for? It's got to be about more than just numbers in a bank account. It's got to be about the legacy you create.
To make this point, Alan shares this incredibly powerful story. There was a wealthy businessman who, during a time of intense political chaos, was forced to sign away his entire empire just to guarantee his son would be safe. It's such a stark reminder of just how fragile material wealth can actually be.
That story leads us straight to this really profound takeaway. If you lost it all tomorrow, every dollar, every property, every stock, what would you still have? You'd have your skills, your knowledge, your relationships, your character. That is your real wealth, the stuff no one can ever take away.
So, in the end, all these strategies in this book, they're not really just about piling up money. They're about creating freedom, security, and options for yourself. Think of wealth as a tool. It's like being given a bigger shovel. So the ultimate question the book leaves us with isn't just about how big a pile of dirt you can make. The real question is, what are you going to build with it? What kind of legacy are you going to leave behind?